feels good to be back. Sun shining directly on my grill. But y'all know how this goes. Peace to y'all. Diving deep, infinite waters. Breathing in that good prana. Now I am one with the Creator. Peace, Waller boy. What's poppin' with you, bro? The boys is back in town. It's about to go down. So real quick, I don't know how I'm gonna do this one. Okay, I've waited long enough. I want to get into some Moon and Sagittarius energy, some spell energy, some overall manifestation energy to bring about true gnosis. Because when you reference true gnosis, it is combining all four elements. But something about a Sagittarius moon, something about spiritual power, that it doesn't combine all four elements. It generally works with the elements of water and fire. And water and fire is the emotion of emotion and passion. So sometimes you can be so emotionally and passionately driven and never manifest anything. So it's like with a lot of like Sagittarian minded people, Sagittarian energy, and trust me, I am not throwing shots. I'm not calling anybody out. But Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra, y'all like to dream big. But then when it comes to that Capricorn, like the utilization of building a all-encompassing spiritual tower where everybody can come and, you know, fellowship, that's kind of a little bit more difficult than just thinking about it, than believing in it and having emotional bond or being passionate about something. You need big Capricorn energy to bring things into realization. But the thing that we're referencing, a mental thing, is like working with people, because the sun is still in Aquarius, is still in the social house. But now we bring the moon energy to get the more subconscious variation. And it's more centered in like doing spells. It's more centered in being spiritually adept. But that don't really mean shit if you can't manifest nothing. And everything is going well with me for the moment. I'm just taking it one day at a time, my brother Waller. You know, hit me up when you get some time, bro. Just want to make sure everything is graviton. So as we can see, we're really just paying attention to the moon, because everything will be discussed throughout the weeks and days and things of that nature. Especially when we talk about the new moon, we'll talk about other planets and other energies. But the reality of the moon is constant, is daily. So I'm not really trying to do a long drawn out video. More is to just be very clear on why your spells never work, on why your intentions never work. The same way as if I wish to go to the store every single day, I wish I go to the store, 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 but I don't never get my ass in the car and go to the store. What's the point of wishing? So the power of your passion, the power of your emotions can drive you so deeply, but you don't do shit, right? Not a damn thing. And so at the lowest level of wanting to go to the store without actually getting in your vehicle and headed that way, that's big Capricorn energy. See, big Capricorn energy, which is alpha male, masculine energy, which everybody want but don't nobody like, Because the thing about alpha male, Capricorn male is that you can't ask that person to do the things that you would say a lowercase male do. Because in the meantime, if you having him rock the baby, wash the dishes, take you to the nail salon, take you to the movies, take you on trips, big Capricorn energy could be saving the world. Big Capricorn energy could be saving 1,000 people. But generally, in our relationships, we'll be real selfish when we got big Capricorn energy in our lives. So once again, understanding that big Capricorn energy is essential and a necessity to go with your emotions and your passions is essential. Because boy, oh boy, y'all can wish some things. Boy, oh boy, y'all can hope for some things. Y'all can plan for things. Y'all can talk about some shit, boy. We can talk all day. Who got something in on the storefront though? Oh shit, they ain't nobody got nothing to say. I thought we was talking about spiritual business. Oh, niggas want to be quiet. Okay. So Sagittarius moon, it sounds good, it feels good, and it's actually magical. But it's two sides of magic that we want to really understand about this shit. I don't really work on my magical skills more than I work on my mundane skills, like actually learning how to do shit. Cause I'm pretty magical and shit, you know, not to cap or boast or nothing like that, but at the end of the day, I'd rather be a dope boy than a magical nigga. At the end of the day, I'd rather have my racks together, and I be looking at these rap videos like, man, oh man, where did I go wrong, right? I know I'm not the only one that feel like that. Obviously, in order to be successful in this life, you have to learn physical, mundane skills. Need something? Oh yeah. And I seen them.
It's alright.
It's cool. I just seen them.
Did you?
Yeah. Maybe sat on them. Maybe you get out the car too.
Put this thing down and loosen this stuff so it clears and it's bad. But I don't know, like, what's going on?
There you go.
Hey,
it's better than nothing.
Heck yeah. Okay, I got a small face.
A little face. I like that little face.
I bet you did.
You know I do.
I forgot you. Because I was about to take it to a hold. See, yeah, sir, find her on that corner, set her butt down, huh?
Sorry for the little minor interruption, but so just to recap so far, if you're just now getting on the live, we're dealing with a Sagittarius moon. A Sagittarius moon is very, very powerful. It's probably the most powerful spiritual energy in the world. But if you don't have Capricorn energy to associate with this spiritual energy, it does not fucking matter. Okay? It's just the 9th house, right? It's the house on the hill, right? We all see the house on the hill, but if you ain't going to the house of the hill, you don't really give a fuck about it at a certain point now, do you? If you can't go, if you don't have access to the house on the hill. So generally the house on the hill is the Sagittarian, Jupiterian, high and mighty person. And the thing about this high and mighty person is that they probably don't even be having 2 pennies to rub together, won't give you $5, won't give you a ride, won't piss on you when you on fire. Sagittarius is a fire sign, right? but yet and still they're in the house on the hill. And as Americans and human beings, we associate that with greatness. Or we associate that with craziness, like real craziness. Like, you really think you high and mighty, but you can't give me $5. Figure out how you gonna give me $5 first. Because if you can't give a brother $5, why do I gotta even hear anything that you gotta say? At the end of the day, if you need $5, you can hit me up. That's the very least I can do, right? A nigga might be hungry and want a sandwich. You can hit me up and get $5. I'll cash app you $5 and you can get you a sandwich.
Cash app you 10.
10. Cause inflation and shit. I mean, in this world, you gotta have physical resources in relation to your energy. And the problem with Sagittarius energy, they want to do everything but the mundane. It's beneath them. And for some Jupiterians, kings, and things of that nature, it is. Right? Queens, it is. But see, we don't live in our ivory towers. We gotta come to the fucking village sometime, to the market, to get some fucking eggs, some Woo! That's not your fault. Damn it, the spill. Shay. We still in the game. So, but I don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't want you thinking big Sagittarius energy that you're not necessary. Oh boy, you are necessary. We need that big time spiritual energy. But once again, we got to connect the 9th and the 10th house to equate to the 11th house. Generally, you might find yourself in the 8th, 9th house, and you got that one song on repeat. I'm so lonely. So, with that shit on Will Smith, Carlton used to play all the time. Yeah. And then on the 10th house, you know, you got that Tom Jones, Las Vegas energy. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. It's not unusual to have fun with anyone. That vibration. So you got, on one side, you got Carlton Banks, your 9th, 8th energy. And then in the 10th house, you got Will Smith. Now when you take it to the 11th house, you Jada, Will, Jaden, Willow ass, and the one dude that don't nobody know from his first marriage, right? It's the Smith family. But in order to get all of those components together, you gotta work together for some reason. Gotta have a higher understanding. But generally, if Will Smith wasn't in all of them fucking movies, right? All of them movies, put out all of them albums, then Willow can't flex like she flex. Jaden can't flex like they flex, right? Meaning that big Capricorn energy is essential to your flex. Does that make sense? And if you flexing, not to say that you don't flex without big cap energy, you flex regardless. You flex, niggas flex and live, you know, on the streets, homeless. You know, we all can flex. Niggas be living with their baby mamas, living with their grandma. You know, it just, like, it don't matter. It's crazy out here for millennials, because what we weren't taught was anything, right? The thing that we weren't taught was big Capricorn energy. We were taught emotional value. Feel great. You don't need shit to feel great. And a lot of this conversation that I have is to trigger millennials into big Capricorn energy, because the spiritual shit is already there. How can we build? Like, not like build in the conscious rhetoric. You know, we gonna come have a powwow and talk about a whole bunch of random shit. How many chakras you think you got? I think we got 1 million chakras. I think we got 1 billion chakras. Okay, blah, 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 ha, 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 right? Not getting nowhere. However, if we could literally say who got something on this storefront, right? If we can literally say, let's put together a bazaar or a fair or a temple, or start a business together and do things that will help us in the future, help ourselves individually, help ourselves collectively, build in that capacity. Well, if we're sitting in there doing rituals and intentions and shit, praying for some shit to manifest, guess what's not going to happen? All of the shit that we thinking about, talking about, and working through. But once again, I don't want y'all to throw big Sag energy out the window. I don't want you to throw big Scorp energy out the window. I don't want you to throw big Ophiuchus energy out the window. I want you to understand that you need to connect it to something physical. Is that okay? Like, that make like, or do you just want to stay in your ivory tower and do spells all fucking day and think that that's perfectly fine, but then have a question or an issue? So before I get to why we don't want to deal with this, why we don't want to throw it away completely, let's deal with how it shows up in the real world. I'm talking about this real world. Love spells and money spells, Jack. Now I'm gonna do y'all a favor. I was gonna ask y'all questions, but I'll just tell y'all, because it'll be easier that way. We've all heard of a love spell. We've all heard of a money spell. And I'm not saying that shit don't happen, because that shit actually does happen. People do have big Sagittarius energy. People can manifest. People can do readings. People can see your past lives, your mama life, your higher self, your guardians, your deities, your demons. They can see all of that, right? But so in the fuck what? Now what, nigga? Now what you gonna do? Such and such gave me a reading and it was so on point. Now what? I'm sorry if I'm triggering you, but this Capricorn, this area, man, I tell you, it's a soft area, man. Big Cap, big Sag, big Scorp, big Ophiuchus. It's a soft area because it's so fucking powerful that when you deal with human beings, bro, that's all they gonna give you. Spiritual energy. But guess what I can't eat at night? Spiritual energy, my nigga. I can't eat it. I can't sleep in it. I can't drive in it. I can't fuck it. It just don't matter. It don't even exist until you connect it to the physical world. This is why big Capricorn energy is essential, but this is why big Capricorn energy is demonized in our community. What does big Capricorn energy look like in the black community? It looks like your neighborhood drug dealer. Who's going to jail more than anybody in the black community? Your neighborhood drug dealer. Now, is your neighborhood drug dealer robbing people? Is your neighborhood drug dealer making people upset? No, you don't even know the nigga. He wake up at 5 o'clock. He done by 9, right? If he a smart drug dealer. Right? He done before the day is over. Understand that? So the energies that exist in the world say, oh, look at that big Capricorn energy. Let's lock that shit up. And then when big Capricorn energy get locked up in our community, we don't even bat a fucking eye. We think that it's okay. We think that nigga's a bad person, right? Nigga ain't hurt nobody. Nigga ain't even served no J's. He the fucking plug. he the connect. But that's the bad person in our community. No, nigga, that's the person that we need. And then when you look at the black community and there is no big Capricorn energy, because if we wanted to get something popping, what's the issue? We don't got no fucking resources. That shit crazy.
It's like they're either getting locked up or they're doing the locking up.
They snitching or they being snitched on. It's the new form of warfare. That's why they put out that Judas and the Black Messiah, to show you that ain't even no new shit. We've been throwing each other under the bus. Because when it comes to, because the man with resources is not the man with money all the time. It's the man with magic. And the man with magic is always the nigga that's gonna be attacked. Don't ever want to be like me unless you want to go to prison. Unless you want to be attacked all the fucking time. Unless you want to be used. Unless you want to be abused. Unless you want to be taken advantage of. Because the purpose of my life is not to impress none of you niggas. My purpose of my life is to learn and understand my magic. And as I understand my magic, it is then understanding that, oh shit, this is what I have to do. And understanding what I have to do is just what I'm doing. But at a certain time, a lot of black men don't try to find their magic. They're trying to find what impresses you, and they're trying to find like love and security in their relationships, and they can't find it because big Capricorn energy is to be taken advantage of. A woman is not going to rob me because there's nothing that she's gonna get but some fucking credit cards that's close to their limit. Right? But if I had $1 million, now the way that I go about my relationships is quite different, because a woman might rob me, set me up to get robbed. I got 2 close good friends that are dead because they were big Capricorn energy, and motherfuckers just didn't like that. They didn't hurt nobody. Right? So
even if they're not Capricorns?
Even if they're not Capricorn. You can have planets in Capricorn. You could hold Capricorn energy. You could have a Capricorn job, like a cop and things of that nature. Like, you know. But the thing about big Capricorn energy, you say, hey, bro, you want to do a money spell? The nigga will laugh at you like, no, I really got money. So why the fuck do I got to do a money spell? Right? So let's do big Cancer energy. Hey, big Cancer energy, you want to do a love spell? No, motherfuckers really love me for real. Why the fuck would I want to do a love spell? I actually know how to be in a relationship with somebody and make that, not even make, it's just natural for that motherfucker to just love me. I'm conscious on how a person perceives and receives the love that's within me. So there's no need for me to do a fucking spell when I literally can like, I can show you love right now. I will show you patience. I will show you understanding. I will show you growth. I will show you desire. I will show you acceptance. Money. Well, no, I don't, don't give me the line. Okay. So this is why we don't want to throw big Sag energy out the window. We want to work with our magical energy, but we only want to stay realistic about what we actually can do. And sometimes you can't really do shit because of your disposition, your energy, your resources, so forth and so on. But don't be ignorant to say, I'm perfectly fine with this big Sag energy. I'll just stay in my own fucking bubble. Right? I'll just shoot darts. What do Abraham Hicks say? Rockets of desire, right? That's big Sag energy. Rockets of desire. I'll shoot these rockets of desire. I want to do this. I want to do that. This coffee wants to get off. I want to do that. Your teeters on how close you are to what you want to do and versus where you're not. So the more that you're doing shit, the better you feel, right? And the more that you're not doing shit, you feel bad. But the reality is that you need to connect this all to something real, or else you're just shooting rockets of desire. So what is the vortex in reference to Abraham Hicks and the moon transiting through Sag into Capricorn? The vortex is actually touching all of your spiritual energy in real life, and until you do that, you're just shooting rockets of desire. But however, wherever you are today, you want it to be there, and as long as you can admit that, you'll be okay. But sometimes you go to your destination kicking and screaming, and that is the emotional pull for your rocket desire. Please get me out of this situation. And I got spiritual energy. I've manifested things in the past. Why can't I manifest things now? Well, the sun is in the 11th house. You have to leverage your teamships and your partnerships. Well, hood, I don't got none of that. Well, in 11 more months next year, when this time come around, hopefully, when the sun transits Aquarius once again, you will then work your way into friendships and building businesses and providing value for other people. Because generally, ain't nobody about to stop they day and figure how they gonna help you out. It just don't work like that. Now, you don't have to be the motherfucker that needs help all the time either. You then, if you feeling like, damn, a motherfucker should just turn around and help me, then you need to level up, tap into big Capricorn energy and be that to the world. Because obviously a motherfucker ain't gonna do that for you. And so to understand like a spell, a money spell in relation to big Capricorn energy, Cancer and Capricorn opposing each other. So Cancer thus is love. It manifests itself as love. So it doesn't need to do a love spell, meaning that it's women that got married today. The niggas in love, right? And then the thing about men are very, very simple. Men are very, very, very simple in the space of manifesting and things of that nature. But I think that we're not really ready to go there yet. So I'm going to leave that on the table. But if a person knew how to buy low and sell high, and they've been buying low and selling high for the past 20 years, they got money. Okay? They ain't gonna wake up today and say, what's a good money spell? How can I manifest some money? Nigga, they already got it. So when you big Sag energy and you think like, my only problem is that I don't be doing enough spells. No, that's all the fuck you do. So you have to transit that big Sagittarian energy somewhere into something real, something tangible, and it's basically what you can do. But it's hard to do shit on your own. It's hard to get to the top of the mountain by your own. I've never travailed a fucking mountain, right? But I imagine that you would need a crew. Just my thoughts. So in order to travail the mountain, you would have to know somebody that done been there before. And the beautiful thing about this world is that whatever the fuck we could imagine that we want, there is somebody who has done it before. Now, what is the block to that? You too high and mighty in your Sag Jupiterian energy. You already the king, so you don't need to seek mentorship. You don't need to get guidance. You don't need to listen to other women about how to become feminine, or listen to other men about how to become masculine, because in your fucking mind, everything that you think is right and everything that you feel is correct. So the whole goal for you is to change everybody else. And this is where motherfuckers get into real nasty and ugly predicaments and them fucking love spells. But don't nobody tell you about that shit.
You know, they tell you to keep doing them, and I do it for you. And
nasty.
But once you get yourself fucked up,
nasty.
trying to help you
recover. Yeah.
But that's because they fucked up too, because since they're doing shit that they're not supposed to be doing.
Nasty.
Let me not interrupt your conversation.
But all I'm saying is that within the realms of love, there is a skill to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you was holding sexy Oshun energy, mm-hmm. and you knew that if a man wasn't gonna be with you tonight, they was fucking up, but you didn't tell them. You just carried yourself like that, and you just knew that a nigga need to be with you tonight, and for the rest of your life, it'll be a great thing if he was in a relationship with you and he was married to you for a long time. Mm-hmm. That is the energy of creating and attracting. But the reality of resistance is real too. These niggas ain't shit. These niggas is broke. These niggas is da-da-da-da-da. But like I said, today, a beautiful young lady is getting prepared for her wedding all over the country, all over the planet today. All over the planet is women getting ready to tie the fucking knot. So love ain't dead. The overall idea of how we going to personally manifest our own love is thus the value that we're providing in our own relationships. But this is a skill. This takes time, effort, patience, persistence, conversation after conversation. And you'll definitely get there. But you won't get there from no fucking spell. Don't let a motherfucker lie to you, fam. Don't ever, ever, ever think that relationships or money is a result of spell work. And then be real with yourself. Where do you need help at? Love and fucking money. So where is the mundane Capricornic hard lesson then? How do I become strong in my relationships? How do I get more money in my life? How do I get better money practices? Very simple shit. Or you can do the shortcut shit. But the shortcut shit, boy, oh boy, we need to have a thread of all of the times that people have done love spells and the actual results of them shits. If you find one result of a person living happily ever after and married after like 20 years, I give you $100 cash app. If you have somebody come on any platform that I have, email me, I'll cash app you $100 immediately. They got a sexual relationship and his wife or the husband manifested from a fucking love spell from somebody from a fair or a witch or something. I wanted a successful 20-year marriage. Happy-ish.
Not everything.
And not perfect either, but no. I want to know the witch that's giving love spells for happy long. Like, tell me the witch. Tell me the warlock. Tell me the sorcerer that you went to. Or else I'm going to assume that every long relationship was an amount of patience, perseverance, endurance, effort, conversations, love. Did I say effort? I'm going to say it again. Patience. Did I say patience? I'm going to say it again. I would love to find a sorceress that's giving niggas long-term happy relationships. Because I would promote her on my platform, or him on my platform, or them on my platform. Because at the end of the day, I never seen it, never heard of it. I talk to a lot of people. They never talk about the love spell goddess it's love spells out here. And you definitely can get a nigga for a night. That's big Sagittarius energy. And you can get them to move in and all of that shit. But is y'all equally yoked? Is the relationship abusive? Is the relationship toxic? Well, she ain't say that when we was doing the spell. I know. That's what I'm telling you now. Ain't no shortcuts to relationships. Not good ones. Not ones that, your ancestors approve of. Your ancestors say, okay, this your wife, this your husband. But good luck, my nigga. You gonna need it.
Instead of saying, all right, y'all married, we married.
I guess it's like more or less like the fairy tale aspect of relationships. And niggas going into that actually thinking that they the exception to the rule. Well, I hear you, but my relationship gonna be perfect. I'm gonna meet the perfect nigga because I'm doing the spell to do so. I am big Sagittarius energy. It's always exceptions to every single rule. But the rule still stands. Relationships take work, effort, endurance, patience, perseverance, and an overall conversation and an overall commitment to say we're going to be together. I'm going to love you forever, no matter what happens. And ultimately, you can get to there in the 12th house Pisces, where we get to forge our love and we get to move forward and say, okay, this is the next step. Because the thing about astrology is that it never completely ends. It always goes from one cycle to another cycle, right? So this is a beautiful time to really find someone. But say, for instance, you have found someone, your ability to think that it's some fairy tale shit will push you right out that relationship. Because Capricorn energy is very strong, is very masculine, and is very hard. But it's not impossible. The things that you see a person manifest is not usually because they just woke up one day. Like my cousin, he's a Capricorn. I don't know if he's on the live. But my cousin been making music since he was 16. He's in his 30s. So that's like 17 years worth of music. He might play you a jam and you be like, ugh, this shit nasty, bro. And then you might think like, shit, I'm gonna make this shit kind of simple too. Right? It's hard, but it's simple. And to the point that you might think, well, shit, I can make that. That wasn't complicated or hard. You might look at a house that's built and it got 4 walls, couple windows, a door, a roof. And you might think, shit, that's a simple enough house to make. I can make that. Meaning that the most simplest shit take years upon years to fucking master. And now, like my cousin doing well for himself in music. But he worked for that shit. He worked so fucking hard for that shit. Like, he never, like, even, like, he did work. He did have a job. But he wasn't, like, career-minded. His career was his music. But see, my cousin can play the piano. My cousin can play the guitar. My cousin can write songs. He can sing. He can do all of this shit. And it wasn't like the hand of God graced him with magical talent either. Because I remember when he was 15 and it would be like family reunions or funerals, you know, when you link up with your cousins and shit. The shit don't sound like it did. The shit then sound way different than what it sound like now. Because when you have a craft and you work on it and you build it up to the person, the onlooker, it's going to seem like magic. And then when you're doing it at the beginning, it might not sound like the best shit to the people outside of you, but when you hearing it, your spirit is like, ooh, this shit jam. This shit hard, right? The reason that your spirit is doing that so you don't give up. Because we all know how vulnerable people can be at the beginning phases of cultivation, their big cap energy. If you be like, oh, this shit whack, nigga, this shit stupid, then you might stop doing that shit. Right? But that might be the thing that got you out the fucking hood. But because the person's opinion threw you out of what you wanted to do, you felt bad. But at the end of the day, if you didn't learn the structure or the background and learn how to fucking play the guitar, learn how to play the piano, learn how to work on your vocals and things like that, you can't be mad that you can't sing. You can't be mad that you can't put out a hot song. You understand? Like, and the things that my cousin done in the music industry is huge. But whether you know him or don't know him or not, it's besides the point. When you big Capricorn energy, you gonna get what you gonna get. But you have to work on what everybody might deem as stupid. And then on top of that, you might have to fucking get a job too. You might have to work too. My nigga was a dishwasher for years, right? Now he racked up. But once again, he deserve it. But the goal is to stay centered and focused in on that big Capricorn energy. Keep working, keep bettering yourself, keep leveling up. Because once you build a house, you like, damn, this is a nice house I built. This is a nice song I built. Can't live off that either. You then have to begin to do more shit. And then I guess the deeper part is like connecting with like people. Like, so say for instance, you're serious about music and you're very good at music, right? You're serious about something. You're very good at it. You working through Capricorn energy. Okay. You're not going to be successful by yourself. Okay? You need a team. You need people that's going to help you accomplish your goal. And that's Aquarius energy. But it's hard to tap into Aquarius energy if you're not good at nothing. And the thing about being good is that it has to be mundane. It has to be tangible. It has to be something that you can say, hey, I'm good at this. And everybody says, yeah, you are good at this. I would pay you for that. Right? And if you have something of value, or you willing to work towards something of value, then you then transfer it into your grouping. You transfer it into your family, right? You don't focus in just yourself, by yourself, for yourself, living for yourself, by yourself, with yourself, thinking about yourself. You. Once you start thinking about other people, they're very critical. They hard to please, and that means you got to have big Capricorn energy. You have to have big Capricorn energy, because people will tell you, this is some bullshit, I don't like this. And if they don't tell you that, they'll tell you it by not telling you that, right? By not fucking with you. Okay? So, one more slide. And I was saying earlier how I don't want you to throw out big Sag energy. I want you to keep big Sag energy, but I want you to develop some ethics with it. I want you to have an intention, an action, and a result, and an outcome, right? That outcome is going to be that big Capricorn energy. But what are you doing with your magic? Chaos. So chaos then ties into the dream. People will say chaos, 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 and you will confuse chaos with randomness. And I don't know if I told y'all or not, but I've been really talking to Freya a lot lately. And Freya comes to me at night and she said, chaos is not randomness. Okay? Chaos is the goddess. And she woke me up in the middle of the night and said, Google chaos, Greek goddess chaos. And I said, okay. And I Googled it. And literally, chaos was a goddess, a Greek goddess that created the world. So where we might think chaos is randomness or some lack of order, chaos is actually our divine power. It's a divine ethic. It's a divine magic. But we have to be very intentional about taking that chaos magic and bringing it down to Malkuth, or else we'll just be observant of all of our divine power. And I know y'all know people like this. They got all the cars in the storage. You don't never see them driving it. They be driving a Toyota or some shit. They got Chevelles and all types of nice shit at the storage, and they don't never drive that shit. Right? Because a lot of people like to look at their gifts. The big Sagittarius energy want to say, I am big Sag. I'm big Sag. Right? But then it's like, well, what you gonna do? What you gonna manifest? Oh, you trying to trigger me? You trying to come at me? Come at me, bro. I bet you that motherfucking in that movie fucking Sausage Party, the fucking douche, that's big Sag energy. Come at me, bro. Ain't about to do a damn thing. Will ruin the whole party for no reason. Cause it's like when you deal, like we talk about this a lot, but dealing with one aspect of your chart is so damaging. When you say I'm a Sagittarius, I'm a Pisces, I'm a Libra, I'm a this, you're literally stuck in that function of life. And for a lot of people, since Sagittarius is so magnanimous and so powerful and so deep and so spiritual, that a lot of people just try to buff that shit out. And so, like, my wife, because me and my wife, we taking this course together. And I'm like, I can't wait till this course is over and, you know, I'll be able to blah, blah, blah. She like, now you can do something more meaningful. And I was like, I was triggered. I was like, what the fuck you mean? I do meaningful shit now. But I understand what she's saying. If I'm doing a fucking astrology reading and I'm like this or I'm like that, and a person then decides, well, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna do that, nothing I can fucking do. But it's like, now that I'm in school and I'm learning and I'm getting this certificate, I'm learning specific functions to provide. If you feel this way, I can get you to feel that way. And it's not whether it's a good reading or if you take my advice, so forth and so on. It is specific and clear to a function, and that's big Capricorn energy. And if you are clear on the function of your magic, then you don't need to specifically do spells. It's sort of self-evident. Like a man who has a lot of money, he don't got to do a money spell because he got the money. A woman who get a lot of love don't got to do a love spell because her inbox is full of niggas with money that want to deal with her. And the reason why dudes want to deal with her is because of how she looks. Because we talking about men and we talking about women. We not talking about your feelings. Like, if you want to be an accountant, you study numbers. You study accounts receivables and accounts payables. It is not nothing to say you got to look a certain way to be an accountant. But love energy from men, like an abundance, you could be a gardener, you could be a psychic, you could be a nail tech, you could be a hairdresser, you could be a truck driver. Whatever career path you choose that career path because it's going to make you happy. Don't choose a career path because you want to attract a man in your life. That don't even make sense. And I know what I'm saying ain't making sense, but then a lot of people will be like, well, what does he like about you? I'm a hard worker. I got a good job. I got a lot of money. Never in the history of mandom has a man been thinking like, I would love a girl who's a fry turner at McDonald's. It's probably the last thing that we think about. We generally want our wives to be happy in whatever career path that she chooses. But why we chose her is not because of her career path. So people who have a strong predilection towards love might want to put energy and resources into studying how to be more capable in their relationships outside of being more capable in the working world. Yes, you know a lot about how to make money, how to pay rent or own a house, and great. It's great. But in your deep, intimate relationships, is your man happy? Is your man satisfied? Or your woman happy? Or your woman satisfied? And generally, if the answer is no, it's not a spell that's going to get them to that point of satisfaction or joy. It's going to be the actual skills that you sit down and learn, right? The reason that I referenced this, I was reading, for some reason, The Art of Seduction last night. And trust me, I've read that book so many times, but last night it made sense. Last night, it was more of understanding and invoking and embodying the goddess, the natural goddess that is within you. Now, if you have guilt, shame, and negativity towards your goddess energy, The Art of Seduction is a negative book. However, when you really fully understand that you have natural goddess tendencies, male and female, your job is to exploit that. And this is the true magic. There are people who look a certain way, act a certain way, feel a certain way, think a certain way, speak a certain way, and get their shit off. You are that person, but you have to understand what way it is about you. So in the book, he says there are 9 different archetypes that you will resonate with. And if you resonate with the archetype, then you figure and focus in on that and learn the skills necessary to bring about your chaos, bring about your magic. Now, I know people don't want to hear that because they really think that it's more of a mental, financial, ways of relating. But see, we're talking about men, and men are slight different with what they want. Men don't really want what women want, but generally we will tap into our big Capricorn energy and provide that. Now, I will say, to kind of finish this off, if you're not tapped into your big Capricorn energy as a man, it's going to be hard for a woman to respect you in the relationship. Sometimes I catch myself responding to things emotionally, and then I think that that's not going to be conducive for the successful nature of my relationship. Sometimes I think about like how I feel versus what I need to do. And I think, am I able to do it? Yes, I'm able to do it. But sometimes I don't feel like doing it. But my big Capricorn energy says, well, that's not the point. In order to get to the point that you need to be, you have to be an alpha. You have to be a provider. And it doesn't mean that I have to be an alpha within people. I have to be an alpha for my own life because my children are dependent on me. My wife is dependent on me. So because these people are dependent on me, I can't just be like, woe is me, I feel bad for myself. But I can literally learn skills. I can still learn shit. I can still get better at mundane activities. I can still learn to be a better writer, a better technical writer, and I learn every day new writing skills. That's why I want y'all to pre-order Chakra Nova. The link is in the bio. I can do this shit. I can really do this shit, but I be holding back. But for real, I really do want y'all to pre-order Chakra Nova because I'm rewriting a lot of information because I'm learning how to become a better writer. So once you do get the book, I don't want you to say, I bought the book to support Hood Mystic. I want you to get the book to say, this is a good ass book. I like the way that it was written. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be like, well, this is a good reading experience. We show the covers of books all the time, but I want this to be a book that you show the inside of. You understand? I want you to understand, like, there's no shortcuts to magic, but magic is real. Don't throw your Sagittarius energy out. Learn it. Understand your chaos. Understand your goddess and bring that goddess out. See, the thing about this world that we don't like to deal with, we hate to address, is that people got 5 seconds to judge you and assess you. You got 5 seconds to make a first impression. And I know you don't give a fuck about what people say, but then at the same point, you be wanting to be successful. How you going to be successful if don't nobody view you as successful? You want to be successful unto yourself. Well, that's kind of crazy. You generally would want people to view you and feel the success energy and aura around you. You want to share that and spread that. However, if you do not understand that within yourself, then you're looking at other people and seeing how they successful it is and how they live in their life and shit. No, you are the book. You are the magic. And that's why chakras are so important to understanding personal magic and personal psychic powers. So the moon in Sagittarius deals with the mastery of spiritual forces, but the mastery of spiritual forces is not the space of you creating a money spell or the space of creating a love spell. It's the mastery of understanding your physical body, because the most spiritual and magical thing that's happening in this moment right now is that all of our hearts are beating and we don't know why. We can't understand the purpose for our life. Our life is so magical and so powerful. The blood coursing through our veins, our inhale, our exhale, right? Our digestive system, so powerful. And it's not to say that you can't help people in magic, like the Reiki healers, the energy healers, the witches, the witches who doing clean magic, not the witches that's doing dirty magic, right? Not the witches that's trying to get power and try to be the most routed witch out here. See, the goddess is coming to people specifically in their dreams and is choosing people specifically. And the thing about the goddess is that it creates multiple and parallel universes. So what you fear in death, sickness, all of these types of things, what you begin to understand about parallel and multiple universes is that none of that shit is going to even happen to you. Because if it does happen to you in this parallel, in this universe, you'll just go to another universe. Like, it's so many things that happen to us that we don't even know that happens because we just jump into another universe. Right? So if you're in a negative spot, you're in a space within a universe, just know in that next universe where like you got a mansion and a business and a car and this, and maybe you just can't get there overnight, but you can merge into those universes in your dreams. So another thing that happens when you go to sleep, you're in the void. You can choose, okay, I want to go into this universe. Couldn't find it.
I know it's somewhere.
You want to ask the lady?
There. It's all right. Interesting. Remember I said I thought he was over here?
Mm-hmm.
Where I thought it was, the man had the same name except for the last name was Jones. Like exact same name. Died pretty much on the exact same time. It's alright though. I'll find him.
So to finish up, there's a truth that exists within you that's highly spiritual and highly magical, and it's in reference to your dream world, your body, and your overall life. Your ability to focus and pinpoint those actual points of value, of experience. If you're in the worst situation known to man, but your heart is beating, start there. And if it's a fucked up day, go to sleep and wake up and say, I want to wake up in a new universe. I want to wake up in the universe where things is going right for me. Things is going well because I'm not fucking feeling this universe. But invoke the goddess or evoke the goddess. I would say invoke the goddess because the goddess is within us to be brought forth now. But it's multiple ways that it can work out. Now, when we get into like astral body and real true magic, I want you to know that it's real, but it might not be able to affect anybody else but your own personal life. Okay? So, yeah, I'm saving it. It's very important that we try to do magic in our own lives for our own self. Unless you are a healer that attracts energy. Like other people come to you for healings, people come to you for readings, people come to you for consultations. The next step is for you to send them positive vibrations that they can find their own soul. Don't have it be to whereas they need you. Because if it ever get to that point where they need you and they need your soul, you might end up in a position where you'll need your soul too. I'm going to just say it like that. And if you need your soul and you can't access your soul because somebody else has your life force energy, then you're going to be in what's called a bind. I'm in a bind, Jay. And to get out of any bind, whether physical, non-physical, you evoke the goddess. Now, to understand the goddess is chaos. The Greek goddess, chaos. The Greek goddess, chaos. Okay? Not a concept, not randomness, not craziness, but in goddess, named chaos, is present on the earth. And the energies that she provides are specific. She gives you the power to jump timelines. I know it sounds crazy, But I was on a particular timeline not too long ago, and now I'm not on that timeline. The knowledge that I have, I don't even remember. I do remember learning it, but I don't remember learning it. I do remember my history, but I don't remember my history. It's like I get certain glimpses and certain aspects of it, but the most important part to this actual journey is the fact of me sharing what the goddess is channeling me. The goddess specifically says, there's no way that I'm giving you this information for you. The reason that I give it to you is because you're sincere and you share sincerely. And you're not here for clout or recognition. You're here to be an open and honest channel and vessel. So you'll always be taken care of. You'll always be successful. You'll always stay in your big cap energy because you're not tripping on the clout and the fame. So I'm very happy when people tune in and tap into me, because I know for a fact that they're getting information that they need. And I can rest in that, because at the end of the day, if it all comes down to it and I got to get a job at Amazon or Best Buy, I'm going to be the best goddamn Best Buy clerk you'll ever see in your life. Hey, can I help you with that TV? Yeah, right here is the 1080p flat screen, whatever. We got earphones over there. You feel me? Computers over there. What you need help with? I got you. I know everything about this fucking store. That's my mentality. But I got that mentality now with this spiritual work and this spiritual business. And right now, like, I'm looking for a storefront. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, I've heard it. And now I'm just moving forward and manifesting a storefront, because generally I just want to hold space and have my wife hold space and just do service in the community. So that's just where my mindset is. And generally how I'm going to manifest that, I don't know. But another variation of how I'm going to manifest that, what I do know is that it's going to be big Capricorn energy. It's going to be an actual store front. It's not going to be something online. But in the space of online, we just want to say thank you for all of the support. ColumbianExchange.com, you know, all of the orders, all of the reviews, all of that good shit that y'all be doing. Shoot us with some unboxings if y'all can. Tag us on IG. Email us reviews, video reviews, all of that, because we're trying to grow our business and we're legit just trying to support our family. But we're not just trying to be like, oh, support us, support us, support us. We're very strong. Me and my wife are very strong on energy exchange. So if you receive positive energy from us, pay it forward, you know, help somebody else out, help us out, you know, but, you know, take your positivity and transfer it and continue to, you know, keep that transmutation going. And with all of that being said, I will tap in a little later. Guess we had lost some signals along the way. So I'm going to just end this video and try to send it before it gets lost completely.